What if I told you that somewhere beneath the Atlantic Ocean, a German submarine didn't sink because of enemy fire, but because something found it first? No explosion, no battle, no survivors. Only fragments of radio transmissions filled with panic, distorted voices, and something far worse than fear. Signals that were never meant to be heard again. This is not just a story about war. It is a story about depth, darkness, and the unknown. A place where light cannot reach, where sound behaves differently, where pressure alone can crush steel like paper. And yet, something lives there, something that noticed them. This is the story of a U-boat that went too deep and encountered something that should not exist. Chapter 1: The Mission into Darkness. The Atlantic Ocean. A German U-boat cuts silently through freezing black water, its metal hull creaking under immense pressure. Inside, the air is heavy, thick with oil, sweat, and tension. Every man on board knows the routine: patrol, observe, survive. Nothing more. But something is different on this mission. The deeper they descend, the quieter the ocean becomes. At first, no one notices. Then someone points it out. There are no distant whale calls, no shifting currents, no natural sounds. Just silence. An unnatural silence. The captain orders them deeper. The crew hesitates, but obeys, because questioning orders is not an option. Yet in their eyes, something has already begun to change. The ocean doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels like something is waiting. Chapter 2: The First Signal. The radio operator adjusts his headset, frowning. At first, it sounds like interference, a low vibration, something irregular. But then it repeats, slow, rhythmic, almost like breathing. He calls another crew member to listen. Both remain silent as the sound pulses through the speakers. It doesn't resemble any known signal. No code, no pattern, no machine. It feels alive. The captain dismisses it as equipment malfunction, but the sound continues. It grows stronger, more defined, almost synchronized with something unseen. The operator begins to record it, his hands slightly trembling, because deep down, he knows this isn't coming from above, it's coming from below them. Chapter 3: The Shadow Below. Sonar activates again. At first, the screen shows nothing unusual. Then, a shape appears. Large. Too large. The operator recalibrates the system, convinced it's an error, but the signal remains. And it's moving. Slowly. Circling beneath the submarine. The crew gathers, staring at the display. No one speaks, because whatever is down there is not just large, it is massive beyond comprehension. Larger than any known sea creature, larger than their own vessel. And it's not just passing by, it's following them, keeping pace, waiting. Chapter 4: Contact. The first impact isn't violent, it's subtle. A low vibration travels through the hull, like something brushing against it. Then comes a second, stronger. Metal groans, lights flicker. The entire submarine trembles. The crew freezes. No explosion, no torpedo, just contact. Something is touching them from the outside. Then a sound echoes through the structure, a slow, dragging scrape, like something enormous sliding across the metal surface. It moves from one end of the submarine to the other, deliberate, controlled, as if it's exploring them. Chapter 5: The First Transmission. The captain wastes no time. Send it. The radio operator begins transmitting. Unknown contact, depth extreme, movement, not mechanical. His voice falters slightly because the scraping hasn't stopped. It's still there, moving along the hull, sometimes pausing, as if listening. The crew remains silent. No one wants to speak. Every sound feels too loud, too noticeable. The operator continues, possibly biological, size unconfirmed. He stops, because outside, something just struck the hull again, harder this time. Chapter 6. The Tentacles. The attack comes without warning. A violent force grips the submarine. The entire structure bends slightly under pressure. Alarms erupt instantly. Men are thrown against walls. Equipment crashes to the floor. Something has wrapped around them. From the outside, through a small reinforced viewing port, one crew member sees it. A massive limb, dark, thick, moving slowly, tightening around the hull. Its surface shifts unnaturally, not smooth, not solid, almost alive in a way that shouldn't be possible. More limbs follow, wrapping, constricting, crushing. Chapter 7. Panic Below. The submarine descends suddenly, not by command, not by control. Something is pulling it downward. The depth gauge spins uncontrollably. Men shout over each other. Orders are given, ignored, repeated. Nothing works. The engines strain, but the force is too great. Another transmission is sent. We are being dragged, unable to stabilize. The operator's voice breaks. The hull begins to creak louder, a sound no one wants to hear, because it means one thing. The pressure is winning. Chapter 8. The Monster Revealed. For a single moment, they see it. Not clearly, not completely, but enough. A massive shape moves past the viewing glass. It blocks what little light exists. Its form is wrong, not defined, not stable. Something shifts within it, as if it doesn't fully exist in one shape. And then, two faint points appear, watching. The final clear message is transmitted. It sees us. Chapter 9. The Final Moments. The hull begins to fail. Metal bends inward with a deafening scream. Water forces its way through microscopic fractures, then larger ones. The crew scrambles. Some try to seal compartments, others simply freeze. There is no escape. The final transmission struggles through static. Not a creature, not natural, something else. The signal distorts violently. Screams mix with crushing metal. Then everything cuts, instantly. Chapter 10. The Disappearance. No wreckage is ever found. No oil slick, no floating debris. Nothing. The U-boat simply vanishes, as if erased from existence. Search efforts find no trace, no signals, no explanation. Just empty ocean. Miles of dark, silent water, undisturbed, untouched, and far below, something returns to stillness, waiting again. Officially, the submarine was lost at sea, another casualty of war. Nothing unusual, nothing worth remembering. But the recordings tell a different story. Fragments of voices, distorted signals, and one undeniable truth. They were not alone. Something noticed them, something followed them, and something took them. And maybe the most terrifying part is not what happened to that U-boat, but the fact that whatever lives in those depths is still there.